Hey everyone, Game Park here, and today what I thought I'd do was an unboxing of a peripheral that I recently got, and that is this Xbox 360 PC controller that I got on AliExpress. So obviously this is a third-party controller, not by Microsoft. However, the reason that I decided to get this was because according to the listing, it is compatible with PCs of any kind, as well as PS3. So I thought that was very interesting. Obviously it's a wired controller, so I figured that it would just connect directly to the system if what the listing says is true, and that way it wouldn't require any sort of additional dongles or adapters to connect controller to a PS3 console directly and just play PS3 games on a 360 controller just very natively. So yeah, I got this actually for $10 on AliExpress, very cheap. And here's some of the features that it has. Obviously it's, very kind of shoddy in terms of like the description says like CD-ROM. I don't think there's an actual CD-ROM in here and it wouldn't require it. Here's some little icons and things, but the thing that I was interested mostly is that PS3 connection, and I figured for $10, even if I'm not able to get it working on the PS3, which I have over here, then at the very least it'll just be a nice PC controller that's reddish like that. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the 360 controller for PC. Alright, so here we have our controller. I've taken it out of the package, and I will say that at the very least I do like that they included like an actual box like this, very similar to the box that was released officially from Microsoft when right before the 360 actually came out. They started releasing the controllers that you could buy that would function in the 360, but they were mostly made for PC. But I actually was working at Best Buy at the time, and I actually did get one that came in a very similar red box like this, so I'm sure that's the inspiration for this box. But I'm also glad that this also comes in the box because it just gives it something a little bit more genuine in a sense. And yeah, it's just nice rather than it being like wrapped up in some shrink wrap or some bubble wrap and just thrown in a bag and stuff. So I do appreciate the efforts here. All right, so we'll go ahead and take it out, and here's the controller. It feels a little bit lighter maybe than OEM 360 controller, but it's still really nice. I really like this red actually. It's kind of yeah, it's like a pretty deep red. Very nice. Almost exactly the same as the box, to be honest. So good matching on there. I'm not sure how close it is to say like the Resident Evil 5 360 controller that came with the black accents. It was red with black accents, but I think this one might actually be a little bit more kind of like raspberry-ish, like a little brighter, which looks really good in contrast with the face buttons right here. So yeah, very cool. And as you can see on the back, it just says wired controller. It says compatible with PC Windows for PC 360. That's what they're calling this controller, the PC 360, to differentiate it from the X360, which is a wired controller that works with the 360, but that one probably wouldn't work with the PS3 if this one is even compatible with the PS3. But yeah, it says right there PC 360, TV, PS3, and Android, right? And that's the model right there. But yeah, very cool. Like I said, $10. I don't really care as long as it works. And even then, it would work with the PC. Very clicky buttons. Feels definitely a little cheap, but what we're after here is the ergonomics of the controller itself. As you can see, very clicky. For those, anything that clicks, the buttons feel regular, but those might be the loudest bumpers that I've ever heard of any controller. It's just really clicky, but honestly not bad. It's still very satisfying to the touch. But yeah, so here we have the controller. It says that made in China. Oh, okay. Thanks for reminding me. And very cool. Let's go ahead and plug it into our PS3, and we're gonna play some games and just check out how everything works, if it even works. So let's do that. Alrighty, so here we have our PS3, and I do have the matching controller with that one, and I have this 360 controller. So honestly, for the colors, it looks pretty similar. Definitely more so in person. But yeah, it's pretty similar in terms of that red shade. So I think this actually looks, pretty cool. You can see a little bit of the controllers right there with the console. But yeah, so if you were looking to get a replacement, like as I said, if it works, this might actually be pretty cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in. This is a wired controller, and we have plugged it into the USB slot right over here, down here. And now we have our console. I'm not connecting the PS3 controller. I just want to see if I can do everything natively just using the 360 controller. And let's go ahead and power it on and see what we get. And then we have our splash screen, and here's our first chance. Oh, now the controller has lit up right there, the quadrants, and yeah, look at that. You can select everything, looking pretty good. Let's just put a random or current date. And here we've loaded up the menu for the PS3. It's all connected there. It works. It's looking like it's working both with the thumbstick and the D-pad. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, I do think it would work in the game. I don't think it would just be limited to the menu. If we press the home button, doesn't seem like it brings anything up. So I'm holding it. Oh, there we go. So you can, if you hold the home button, it'll actually take you to the hard reset to turn off the system. So that's great. Let's go ahead and start a game. We're gonna do Aquapazza there, which is a PS3 only game. So something that you could not play previously with a 360 controller because it's not available on 360. We can play on our PS3. So let's go ahead and start that up. And here we are in the game. It's confirming data. Gonna go ahead and turn it down a little bit. Here's the intro movie, but we're gonna go ahead and just skip that for now because we want to get into the game. And yeah, press any button. You can play against the computer. So far, so good. And obviously it's a 360 controller, so it feels good in the hand. One of my personal favorite controllers. Here we have some characters from different series. So yeah, once we get into the game, we can just try the different face buttons, the shoulder buttons, see we get our response. And then we can check out the menu button. So far, so good. Oop. Pressing our face buttons, everything is responsive. Okay, nothing for the bumpers, but I'm not sure if L2 and R2 on the PS3 would have anything. We can go to the command list. It seems like there might not be any action assigned to the triggers. So we'll just continue trying to pull some tricks here, some different moves. But the bumpers do work. And there we go. So everything seems to be working just well. And we're gonna go ahead and press the menu button now. And we do get into the menu of the PS3 right there. We can quit the game if we wanted to and just exit back to the regular menu. So yeah, this is fantastic. It's working just as advertised. The color of it looks really nice, very responsive. Everything I was doing was working just fine. Plugged directly into the system, so there is no need for any sort of adapters or dongles or any of that stuff. There is a wireless version that you could probably use with the PS3, but it would require some type of, I don't know, firmware or little hacks and stuff. But I'd rather just want to, plug and play solution to use a 360 controller with the PS3 and PC if you have, PC. So it will not work with the 360 if you plugged it in, because essentially it's just imitating what a PC controller would do. So that's the reason that it has that connectivity with the PS3, because it's not an X input like a lot of other controllers. But this one works just fine with the PS3, and that is fantastic. I love it. Everything is working just fine. So yeah, if you're looking for a 360 styled controller for your PS3, then you can find this controller on AliExpress for about 10 bucks or so. That's how much I paid for mine, and I highly recommend it. It looks really nice too. Very, very cool. And I bought this, with my own money, so I'm not sponsored by any particular seller. I don't even know who the seller is, to be perfectly honest, but I am very happy with this, and matching with the controllers looks really, really cool. You could also play with, another controller, set 2 players, or how many other players you want to play a certain game. But at least for the 360 controller, it's looking really good. So yeah, that's gonna do it actually for this unboxing. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know if you would be interested in picking up something like this, the PC 360 controller that's also compatible with the PS3. So if you watched this video, thank you again so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.